guys, it's Alicia. It is that time of year again to do our favorite WW recipes of the year. My husband and I are closing in on our second full year of consistently doing WW. This is probably our longest stretch of doing it consistently, but we have done WW on and off since about 2010. We have a lot of old favorite recipes, but we also like to try out new or come up with new recipes. And like last year, I thought it would be fun to do another WW favorite recipes of the year. I will go ahead and link my video from last year, my WW favorites of 2020. If you haven't seen that, you can check that out. It's got some good recipes in it too. But just like last year, this year I am going to be picking my favorites from new recipes that I've tried. Also, like last year, I'm going to be picking 2 dinner and 2 dessert recipes. But let's jump into the video and see what our favorite WW recipes of 2021 were. First up is Enchilada Bubble Up. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I love the Bubble Ups. I have several that I do, and I stumbled across this specific one on Pinterest, knew I wanted to try it, and I was not disappointed. It is very, very good. I'll go ahead and link some of my other Bubble Ups that I've done through the years down below in the description box of this video as well, if you want to check some of those out. So first thing I'm going to do is get a large pan here heating up on medium high heat. And I'm going to add in my turkey and my onions. Get that cooking in here. I'm also going to add a little fresh ground black pepper. If you want to use salt, you can. And then I'm going to just cook this in here until this turkey is nice and browned and those onions are softened. Now that my turkey is browned, I'm going to add in my enchilada sauce, tomato sauce, and my black beans that I've rinsed and drained. And I'm going to give those a good stir. And then I'm going to add in my biscuit pieces. Now I like to cut my biscuits into 6ths because I like them to be a little smaller. They seem to cook better that way, and I just prefer to do it little smaller pieces. So now I'm going to stir all those in there, and I'm going to just continue to stir this until those pieces of biscuits kind of break up just a little bit, because I don't want to have big hunks of them in there before I cook it. I want them to kind of break up a little bit. All right, so that looks good. So now I'm going to take a 13 by 9 inch casserole dish over here. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of cooking spray. And I'm going to pour this in there. And spread it out evenly in here. Now I'm going to bake this at 350 for about 25 minutes. All right, now I'm going to take a cup of that cheese. I'm going to spread that evenly over the top of this, like that. And now I'm going to bake this at 350 still for another 10 minutes, or until that cheese is nice and melted. And here it is. I will go ahead and let this cool down for a few minutes, and then I will cut out a serving size of it. And here is a serving of that, which is a 1/6. It is 10 points a serving for me. I now make it with a 2-ingredient pizza dough though, which makes it only 8 points. I went ahead and topped mine with a little bit of fat-free Greek yogurt. Fat-free sour cream would work well too. And then also a little bit of salsa. I'm gonna have my hubby give this a try and let us know what he thinks of it. Go ahead and give that a try.
It smells good.
I was gonna say, you said it smelled good when it was baking,
Yeah.
so.
What are the green chilies and rotel?
No, there's no rotel. I actually thought about adding rotel to this. There's enchilada sauce and tomato sauce.
And green chilies?
No green chilies.
So that's the enchilada sauce. And
Yeah, but I do believe that would be, I think rotel would go well in there. Like I said, I almost added it. Good? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that on green is 8 points.
We got some
Got some heat.
Gotta put some stank on it.
I got medium heat enchilada sauce.
I mean, I love
Bubble ups?
the bubble up recipes, and this is actually probably my favorite now because I'm a big fan of enchiladas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. So I will definitely add that to the old bubble up rotation then, I guess.
Yeah.
This next one is skinny strawberry cake. This was actually sent in to us by a viewer, and it quickly became one of our favorites because not only was it really easy to make, it was very, very good. It uses a cake mix, and you can mix up the different flavors of things either with cake mix or the topping to create whatever type of flavor combination you want. The first thing you want to do is get your oven preheating to 350, and then you're going to take a 13 by 9 inch pan, and you're going to spray it with a little cooking spray. And then you're gonna set that aside. Next, in a medium-sized bowl or a mixer if you want, you're going to combine your cake mix, your 1 cup water, and your Greek yogurts. And you're gonna just whisk all this together real well until it's all incorporated. It says you're going to want to whisk it for about a minute or 2. So I'll do that and then I'll be back. I've got this all mixed together well, so now I'm going to pour it in my prepared baking dish. I'm going to smooth that in there evenly. And I'm gonna bake this at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. I baked this for about 28 minutes. It's looking good, so I pulled it out, and now I'm gonna let this completely cool before I frost it. My cake is cooled down, so now I'm gonna make the frosting for it. And that is gonna be 1 cup of the 1% milk. And then I'm gonna pour in my pudding mix and a teaspoon vanilla. And I'm gonna whisk this together real well. It says to whisk for a minute or 2 or until it's well blended together. So I'm gonna just mix this for a couple minutes and then I will be back. Okay, I've got that all mixed together. Now I'm gonna take my whipped topping and I'm going to put that in there and whip all of that together. Okay, that's looking good too. It smells really good and I actually tasted it. This would be good as like a fruit dip or something, but it'll be good as frosting. So now I'm going to take this and I'm gonna spread it on my cake. All right, I've got that all spread on there, and now you could eat this just as is, or like I said earlier, I'm gonna top mine with a little bit of freshly sliced strawberries. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut up some strawberries and then I will put them on here. Okay, I've got that all topped, and just for reference, that was about half of that 1 pound package of strawberries that I cut up. So now I'm gonna go ahead and cover this with some plastic wrap, and I'm gonna refrigerate it probably overnight because it's fairly late right now. And I wanna refrigerate mine before I eat it. The recipe says you can eat it now or to go ahead and refrigerate it for a few hours. Like I said, this type of cake I always think tastes better when it has a chance to kind of set up and just sit in the fridge for a few hours. So I will be back tomorrow and I will cut into it, show you what a serving size is and how many points. This has sat overnight. I have cut a couple pieces out of it. I tasted it myself and it is really good. And now I'm gonna have my hubby try it. He's apparently trying the top of it right now. But I cut him out of serving size here, and I made this into 12 servings in the app. For me, this is 9 points a serving on the new personal plan. I have my hubby try it, see what he thinks.
Nice, Rocky.
Is he eating stuff off the floor? Yeah. I know, it's good, huh?
That cake is dense and moist.
Now, I was gonna say, if you want to use a sugar-free cake, you absolutely can. I have that strawberry cake on hand, and I don't typically buy the sugar-free cakes. I have before for different recipes, but and I think it would work well, and it would shave a lot of points off, but
That's awesome.
I'm okay. What do you think? 9 points for that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good myself. Now the trick will be to not eat way more than a serving of
Yeah,
it.
no kidding.
So,
That topping's really nice.
oh yeah, see, I was saying when I tasted that topping that I think it would be good to like dip fruit in or something. Be a good fruit dip. It tastes really good. So that's cheesecake flavored pudding mix.
So when I was like 1.5 or 1, my brother ran me over, and I was in traction in the hospital.
Oh, you're telling your, okay.
And my family would sneak in strawberries.
So he loves strawberries to
So
this day.
I'm a strawberry hound.
And that's
good.
And that's another reason why I went with strawberry, because the cake recipe that she sent me was a chocolate one. And neither one of us are huge chocolate cake fans. I mean, if I'm in the mood for it, yes, but strawberry, definitely. But as I said before, you can do whatever flavor of cake, whatever flavor of the yogurt or pudding mix you want to come up with kind of your own little mix. But this one definitely was a good mix, I think. The strawberry and the vanilla yogurt in a cheesecake topping, or the cheesecake pudding.
That tastes way better than 9 points.
Better than 9 points. All right,
I mean,
cool.
I would think that was like a 12 point, 15 point.
It's really rich and yummy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very good. So thank you, Julia, for sending me this. And again, as I said before, if you guys want to send me recipes, I would love that, and I would love to do videos on them. Next up are chicken pot pie bombs. Now the bombs are another thing that I absolutely love making. I have several different ones that I do. I'll try to remember to link those down below in the description box so you can check some of the other ones out if you want. But this one was actually a request from a viewer. It turned out really good. It's probably one of my favorite bombs now. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a pan here and I'm gonna put it on medium heat. And I'm going to add in my chicken. Now this is already cooked, but I just kind of want to get it and all my other ingredients nice and warmed up before I put them in the dough. So next I'm going to add in my veggies, my jar of turkey gravy, and then my seasoning. Now, as far as seasoning goes, you can kind of do whatever you want on this. I'm just gonna add a half teaspoon of the onion powder, half teaspoon garlic, and then about a half teaspoon of the sage, and about a half teaspoon of thyme. And then finally some black pepper. You could add salt if you want. I'm not going to because we're always cutting back on our salt. All right, so now I'm gonna just kind of let this cook in here so it gets nice and heated through. And those veggies also get the rest of the way defrosted and heated through. So we'll just let this kind of cook here for a few minutes. I let that cook on medium for about 5-6 minutes. It's starting to bubble, so it's nice and heated through. So now I'm gonna turn my heat off, and then I'm gonna add in a half cup of that fat-free plain Greek yogurt. You can also use sour cream, fat-free sour cream if you want. Either will work. So now I'm gonna just stir that in. And I'm gonna set this aside while I work on the dough. So So as I said before, I've got 2 batches of this dough here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with cutting my dough ball in half. So I've got 2 roughly the same size. I'm gonna set one aside. And then I'm gonna take the other one, flatten it out a little bit, and then cut it into 8 equal parts. And then I'm gonna take each individual part and I'm going to roll that out into about a 5-inch diameter circle. I went ahead and rolled out 6 of those. And now I'm gonna take some of my filling, probably about 2 to 3, really closer to 3 tablespoons of it. And then on top of that, I'm gonna add a teaspoon of cheese. And then I'm gonna just fold up the sides, kind of pinch them together. Like that. And flip it over. Now I forgot to show, you're also gonna wanna have 1 beaten egg so that you can put some of this on top with a basting brush in order to brown those. But I will have that down in the ingredients list in the description box of this video. So I'm gonna keep filling these, and then once I've got them all filled, I will come back. Now that I've got those all rolled up, I'm gonna go ahead and brush a little egg on the top. You don't have to do this. This is just to give them more of a browned look. I've also got my air fryer preheating at 400. Now you can absolutely bake these in the oven too. I'm just gonna do them in my air fryer because I've been doing pretty much everything in my air fryer. But I will put the bake time and temp down in the description box for the oven as well. Okay, so now that I've got those brushed with egg, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in my air fryer. And I'm gonna spray my air fryer with a little bit of olive oil, cooking spray, so these don't stick. And then I'm gonna just lay them in there. And I'm gonna just do 5 at a time since I didn't put them in there spaced out enough. So I'm going to do these for, I think, I'm gonna start at 5 minutes and see how we're looking. All right, that is 5 minutes.
Ooh,
I'm thinking they look pretty good.
Pretty dang good.
So I'm gonna pull those out, I'm gonna let them cool, and then since my hubby is here and I am currently fasting, I'm gonna let him try them and let you know what he thinks. I've got 2 of these, which is a serving. For me on the new personal plan, 2 is 5 points. I'm gonna have my hubby try them. Let us know what he thinks. Maybe. Closer in there.
Yeah, that's really good. So I assume this is like your traditional chicken pot pie
Filling?
mix. Yeah.
It's very similar to the bubble up
Yeah.
that I do.
So it tastes very familiar, but I really enjoy that. But the dough, and this is just your 2 ingredient dough, it's got a really nice flavor, and I don't know if it's, because I don't remember the other bombs tasting quite that way.
Well, that's interesting you say that because I did use Chobani Greek yogurt to make the dough. So, and I usually almost always use the Member's Mark. So it is a different type of Greek yogurt this time.
Yeah, that's really good.
Okay, so that's interesting. You love the bombs. I know, the bombs are good. All the different ones. Like I said, I will try to find the different ones that I've done. I originally found these on the Weight Watchers website, and then I just started doing kind of my own. Well, thank you, Donna, for the suggestion to make these. I think they turned out. You think they're a winner? All right. This last one is for oatmeal banana bread cake with cream cheese frosting. I ended up coming up with this one when I had some extra bananas that I needed to use up, and I really liked how it turned out. The first thing I'm going to do is take my flour, oatmeal, baking soda, baking powder, cinnamon, and salt, and I'm going to just combine all these together real well. Okay, now I'm going to take that and just set that aside while I work on the rest of it. So now I'm going to take my bananas and I'm going to throw them in my mixer here. You can do this by hand if you want, but I'm going to use a mixer. And now I'm going to add in my eggs, my coconut oil, teaspoon vanilla, and a 1/3 cup maple syrup. I was gonna put a 1/2 cup in, but I only had a 1/3 left in that bottle, so we're going with a 1/3 cup. Hopefully that's sweet enough. And a cup of the Greek yogurt. And I'm gonna just mix this together real well until it's all incorporated together. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm gonna take my dry ingredients and I'm gonna just fold them into this. Pour them in and then just fold them in. Okay, so I've got that all folded in, so now I'm gonna take it and I'm going to, oh, and I always forget, you want your oven preheating at 375. But I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna pour it into this 9 by 13 inch pan that I've sprayed with a little bit of cooking spray. Spread that out in there. Okay. My husband's eating the raw batter, which you're not supposed to do, but we always do. haven't gotten sick yet.
I like to live dangerously.
Yeah, I do too when it comes to this kind of thing. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna bake it, and I'm not sure exactly how long because I've never done this before, but I'm gonna guess probably 25 to 30 minutes or so, but I'm gonna be checking it, and I'm gonna just bake it until I can insert a toothpick in and it comes out clean.
So good.
Okay, I've let this cook for 25 minutes and I put a toothpick in there, it came out clean, so I'm gonna call it done. And now I'm gonna let it cool pretty much completely before I make the frosting and frost it because I don't want that melting on here. So I'll be back once this has cooled. All right, my cake is cooled, so now I'm gonna work on making my cream cheese frosting. And again, that's gonna just be 4 ounces of this cream cheese. And that is nice and softened, or room temperature, which is how you want it. Then I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons or an 1/8 cup of the fat-free Greek yogurt, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. And I'm gonna just whip that together real well until it's light and fluffy. That is looking good, so now I'm gonna go ahead and frost the cake. All right, now I will go ahead and cut a serving size out of this. Okay, here's a piece of that, and that is a 1/12 is what I'm gonna call a serving. A serving is 6 points for me on the new personal points plan. And I'm gonna have my hubby try it. Let us know what he thinks.
So that's really good. I'm gonna take another bite.
Okay.
Just because I want one.
Okay.
So the first thing you get is the bread, and it tastes just like a really nice banana bread. It's not overly sweet, nice banana flavor. That in of itself would be really satisfying. And then you get the frosting, which is made of what?
It's made of cream cheese, a little powdered sugar, and it's got some Greek yogurt and vanilla.
So now the first thing you get off the frosting, the
cream cheese?
No, it's the yogurt.
Really?
It's kind of the tartness or sour, not in a bad way, of the yogurt, and then immediately gets hit with that really rich, creamy, and then the sweet of the cream cheese.
So that being said, for those who do not like yogurt, I would substitute the 2 tablespoons of yogurt with milk. But again, we like that sour yogurt taste, so I tend to use it a lot and stuff like this. But yeah, you could just sub that out with milk if you don't want that.
Now,
but the frosting's good, right?
oh yeah, no, it's really good. Let me just make sure that's not the cake.
Okay. Because yes, the cake has yogurt in it too.
No, it's the frosting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 6 points.
6 points, yeah. Not bad, huh?
Totally worth it.
I think so. Now, I was going for cake. Obviously, it's in a cake pan. Does it taste like cake? Or does it just taste like banana bread?
It's got kind of a cake texture.
Okay, that's what I was trying for.
I mean, you don't usually get banana cake, so your brain says, oh, banana bread.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess that's fine. I mean, whatever. I was going for cake. Which it looks like cake, especially with cream cheese frosting on it. Those were our favorite new WW recipes of 2021. I will have links to the full videos for all 4 of these down in the description box of this video. And in those videos, you will find the full list of instructions, ingredients, and also links to my WW recipe builder for each one of these, so you can find your specific points on these recipes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you on the next one.